other good questions that you should be asking in the CX program?
Um, sure. One of the things that really gets overlooked a lot is staff training. And yes, you can ask your customers how well trained your staff are because they have opinions about that and they see that. Um, so one of the things you should be asking your customers is how well trained are the staff members? Because they can see, hey, if the teller can answer my question and needs to refer it to the branch manager, I don't think that staff member is very well trained. Same in the call center, um, and that way you can ensure that your staff is getting trained well. Because if they aren't trained well, then they can't answer the questions. They get passed around. You get a little bit of the runaround. You might get the wrong answer. So that's something that you need to be asking. Just one side note on that. Although getting the runaround is a no-no, you should be asking about whether you get the runaround, because sometimes that's related to staff training. Although that's a no-no, you really don't want to pass your customers around, but it's not as bad as getting a wrong answer. So if they say, I get the runaround, and your staff isn't very well trained, but in the end you're helping me, then that's okay, because that means it's just a staff training issue. You'd much rather have that untrained staff member say, I don't know, let me wait for let me give you an answer when I can talk to the assistant branch manager or something like that. You do not want your new staff saying, well, I think it's this. You do not want to give them wrong answer. So that's a bit of a no-no there. And so getting passed around and getting a little bit of the rundown is actually okay in that. And there's a little bit that has surprised me based on some meta-analysis. I thought I'd share this with you. Across millions of customers, it's about first call resolution. I know that's a big deal in a lot of banks. Did we answer your call or solve your problem on your first call? And hey, that's not just in banking, that's in a lot of industries, and it's been around for decades and decades and decades. Oh, we've got to solve it in the first call. Got to solve it in the first contact. And that's actually not true. And that's based on again, millions of interviews. We have correlated, if you don't solve their problem or answer their question on the first call, they're not happy, but it doesn't affect loyalty. They give you a little bit of a pass. If you don't solve it on the second one, that's when it starts to affect loyalty, and people might think about leaving the institution. I'm not saying you shouldn't try to solve it the first time, but it's not really the be-all, end-all that I've seen it before in some customer experience programs. You really want to solve the issue. Most importantly is you solve it correctly. If it takes two contacts, generally customers are okay with that. And again, this is based on millions of interviews, so this isn't my opinion. That's their opinion. If it takes 3 times, that's when you've got a real issue. So that's why I love this work. Is that I have these notions. I grew up in the business and said, okay, first call resolution is really important, really important. And then we took a look at that and said, it's not nearly as important as we've been telling ourselves for a decade. It's not unimportant, but really you got to do it before the third. So first point or second point resolution.